The second thing that you really need to plan out is what courses do you plan to associate. Obviously, you're probably only going to want to associate courses from that current term. And so that's something that you're going to want to make sure that you plan out as well. Additionally, you're going to want to know who's going to be managing this blueprint. So is it just going to be you as the admin, or are you going to have the individual department heads or the instructors in here managing this blueprint course? That's something that's going to have to be thought out as well. So we got our items and we know how we want to lock them. Another thing that we have to make sure that we do before we move on is we need to make sure that our blueprint course is in the same sub-account as the courses we are going to be associating with. So if the blueprint is in sub-account A, but the courses we want to associate are in sub-account B, we won't have the option to associate them. So it's very important that all your courses and your blueprint are in the same sub-account. So for this one, I have this EdTech dialect sub-account. I'm going to go ahead and add that to the list. And then I'm going to make sure that I just leave this in default term. So I made those changes. I'm going to go ahead and click Update Course Details. And when I hit the Update Course Details, you're going to see that we have something new that has appeared, and that's this sidebar here. And this is the blueprint. We'll call it the hidden drawer. If I click on that, it'll open up and you're going to see that I have some options. As an admin, you can now set up these associations. If you don't have admin access, instructors without admin access will not be able to establish these associations. This is for you to do. So they're going to depend on you to set up these associations or disassociations at a time or towards the end of the term. But before we set up these associations, what I want to do is I want to back up a little bit, and we don't have any content. Remember, we just created this shell. There's no content in it, so in order for us to sync with associated courses, we actually have to have some content. So I'm going to go back to the settings, and I'm going to do an import of course content. So once the course copy is complete and we have the content in the blueprint course, we can go ahead and check on that content, make sure it is as we need it to be. And once we're happy with the content, what it looks like, we can go ahead and start to think about associating our courses. Now, before we associate the course, I just want to point out a couple quick things. And you can see that in the meantime, I've opened up all the different course sections that we'll be associating. You can see that there is, in fact, no content in these courses. They are just ready to go. Now, think back to the original way to do it is we'd have to go into each section and we'd have to add existing content, and that process takes some time. But if we go to that admin area, one thing that I want to do is I want to show you, I brought up all these different blueprint courses that we're going to be using. And you can see that this course that I just designated as the blueprint course now shows an additional icon, and if I hold my mouse over it, it says this is a blueprint course. So that lets us know, obviously, that it's a blueprint course. So it makes it a little bit easier for you to identify the blueprint courses from the admin course search area. So as far as associating courses, like I said, we have this blue bar. If I click on that drawer and open it up, we're going to see our associations. Now, a couple things before I associate these courses or search for these courses is once I associate these courses, that content or the content that's in the blueprint course is going to begin flowing to all of those sections. So just make sure that you are, in fact, ready to sync that content when you're associating them. Also, publish settings, not including course publish settings, but the module publish settings and the individual course content item publish settings will flow to the blueprint sections as well. So the first thing we're going to do, we'll just kind of narrow this search down. We know that those sections are all part of fall 2019. So if we scroll through and find fall 2019, but we're going to see that the courses that we're looking for are going to pop up. We want all 5 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And as I click on those, they're going to show up to be associated. And once you see the ones that you're ready to add, you can click Save. If you accidentally click on one that doesn't belong, obviously you can exit out and remove it. Click Save, and just like that, the associations save successfully. Click Done, and you can see that the sync is happening. All right, once your sync is complete, a couple things you want to check on. First of all, if you don't have access or feel comfortable checking on the individual course sections that you sync to, have the instructors of the course take a look at it. But now, if I go to our individual sections here and I refresh it, and just like that, you can see as I click through them, the content is now showing in all of the different courses.